What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Bit of Footy YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be running through my round 20 tips for the 2024 AFL Premiership season. Now, last round, in round number 19, I did pretty average tipping wise. I got a total of 5 out of 9 tips correct, and as you can see on the screen right now, these are the tips that I got correct and incorrect. I'll run you through the tips that I got incorrect from last round. I got the Bombers tip incorrect. I sadly got the Pies tip incorrect. I got the Cats tip incorrect, and I also got the Swans tip incorrect as well. Every other tip I did in fact get correct. And that currently has me, after getting 5 out of 9 tips last round, that currently has me in 26th spot in my own tipping competition. And I'm on a total points tally of 96 points in total. In first spot, to absolutely no one's surprise at this point, we've got Yusuf again, who got 6 out of 9 tips last round and is on a total points tally of 111 points in total. So fair play again to Yusuf. But yeah, without further ado, let's take a look and see what my tips are for the for round 20 of the 2024 AFL Premiership season. All right, kicking off round number 20, we have got the Blues taking on Port Adelaide in a big Friday night clash. The Blues are coming off a win over North Melbourne, and the Power are coming off a big win over the Tigers. So both teams are coming into this game off the back of wins, and they're feeling confident coming into this game. Yeah, it should be a good contest. Normally is between the Blues and the Power. We know earlier in the season that the Blues got the job done at the Adelaide Oval over the Power, and I do think the same result will happen here. I do think the Blues will be a little bit too good for the Power in this game. I do think the Power are going to be very competitive in this game and take it to the Blues for all 4 quarters, but I think the Blues will get the job done in the end in a close one. So I'm going to be backing in Carlton by a margin of 8 points over the Power in this one. Then we move on to the Saturday schedule. We kick off with the only 145 game this round. We've got North Melbourne taking on Geelong down in Tassie at Bloodstone Arena. North Melbourne are coming off that loss against the Blues, whereas the Cats, well, they're actually also coming off a loss, and it was to the hands of the Western Bulldogs. Should be an alright game, this one. You know, it is down in Tassie, and you never know what can happen results-wise down in Tassie. But I do think the Cats will get the win in this one over the Roos. I do think the Roos will be competitive in this one because, like I said before, you never know what can happen in Tassie, and I feel like the Roos, they normally play alright down in Tassie. So yeah, therefore I do think they're going to be competitive in this one, but I do think the Cats will be a little bit too good for the Roos in this one. They did play earlier in the season, these two sides down in Geelong, and the Cats got the job done, and I think the same result will happen in this one. So I'm backing in the Cats over North Melbourne in this game. Then we move on to the 2 4:35 games on the Saturday. I feel like we haven't had 2 4:35 games in a while, but here we are. We're going to kick it off with the Suns taking on Brisbane at People First Stadium. The Suns, they are coming off a loss to the hands of the Giants. The Lions, they're coming off an impressive 2-point win over the Swans. Should be a cracker, this game. I feel like it's one of the biggest Q clashes we've had in a while, or maybe even ever. You know, the Suns, they haven't lost away from home this season, but the Lions, they're playing some good footy at the right end of the season, and I do think the Lions will get the job done in this game. So I'm backing in Brisbane over the Suns in this one. I do think it's going to be a very close, competitive Q clash, this one. But I think the Lions, with the way that they're playing at the moment, with the form that they're in, with the confidence that they're building, at this end of the season. I can see them getting the job done over the Suns in this one and handing the Suns their first loss at home this season. Then we move on to the other 4:35 game on the Saturday. We've got the Saints taking on the Bombers at Marvel Stadium. The Saints are coming off a big win over the Eagles. The Bombers, they're coming off a 2-point loss to the hands of the Crows. Should be a good contest this game. Both of these teams use Marvel Stadium very well. The Saints, they're coming into this game off the back of a big win, so they're going to be coming into this game with a bit of confidence behind them. But I do think the Bombers will get the job done in this one over the Saints. They normally know how to play the Saints very well, and I feel like that's going to impact this game to the Bombers' favor. So yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Bombers over the Saints in this one, but I can see it being a close game. If the last game that these two sides played against each other is anything to go by, I think we should be in for a cracker. But I think the Bombers will get the job done like they did earlier in the season over the Saints. Then we move on to the 2 Saturday night games. We've got the D's taking on the Giants first off. The D's, they're coming off a loss to the hands of the Dockers. The Giants, they're coming off a win against the Suns. Should be a good contest, this one. The D's, they were a little disappointing last round against the Dockers. They lost by a big margin in that one. So they're going to want to come out with a good response in this game. But the Giants, they're playing some good footy at this point of the season. They're growing in confidence, which is, a pretty scary prospect for the rest of the teams this season. And yeah, I just feel like the Giants are going to get the job done in this one. So I'm going to be backing in the Giants over the D's in this game. I can see it being a close one, but I feel like the Giants, with the way that they're playing at this point of the season, I can just see them getting the job done over the D's in this one. So I'm backing in the Giants over Melbourne in this game. Then we move on to the last game of the Saturday. We've got the Dockers taking on the Eagles in the WA Derby at Optus Stadium. The Dockers, they're coming off that big win over the D's. The Eagles, they're coming off a big loss against the Saints. We all know what happened the last time these two sides met this season. The Eagles got the job done in a big upset, but I don't think the same result will happen in this one. I feel like the Dockers will get the job done in this game. So yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Dockers in this one. They've been playing the better footy at this point of the season than the Eagles have. The Eagles, they have been competitive in games, especially at Optus Stadium this season. They picked up a few good wins at Optus Stadium as well, and one of those wins was against the Dockers, but I don't think it will happen again. I think the Dockers, with the way that they are playing at this point of the season, will get the job done over the Eagles in this one. Then we move on to the 3 Sunday games. We're going to kick it off with my Pies taking on the Tigers at the MCG, 1:10 p.m. on Sunday. Arvo, my Pies are coming off a very disappointing big loss over the Hawks, and the Tigers are coming off a loss to the hands of the Power. I'm going to be backing in at my Pies to get the job done in this game. I believe we can get the job done in this one. I hope we can get the job done in this one as well. The Tigers, they have been competitive in their last few games, so we've got to be really, on from the first bounce, and hopefully we play a good 4-quarter game in this one. That's just really what I want to see in this game from my Pies, so hopefully we can do that. But yeah, I think I believe my Pies will get the job done in this game. Come on, the Pies, come on. Then we move on to the 3:20 Sunday game. We've got the Swans taking on the Dogs at the SCG. The Swans, they're coming off a 2-point loss to the hands of the Lions. The Dogs, they're coming off a pretty impressive win over the Cats last round. Yeah, it should be a decent contest, this game. The last time that these two sides met at Marvel Stadium, it was a decent contest in the end. The Swans got the job done by a margin of 14 points, but the Dogs really pushed them in that game in the final quarter. So yeah, should be a good contest, this one. The Swans, they haven't, been on a very good winning streak as of late. They've lost a few games in their last few games, the Swans have, but they've still been playing some decent footy. And the Dogs, they're building some confidence at the right end of the season. They got a big win over the Cats at GMHBA Stadium last round, and I don't know what it is. Tell me if this is stupid, but I can see the Dogs getting a win over the Swans in this game. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like the Dogs are going to come out firing, are going to, come into this game with a bit of confidence behind their back after, their win over the Cats last round. They've been playing some decent footy, minus the game against Port Adelaide in Adelaide. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but I can just see the Dogs getting the job done over the Swans in this game in, a big upset. And the last game of the round, we've got Adelaide taking on Hawthorn at the Adelaide Oval. The Crows are coming off a big 2-point win over the Bombers last round, and the Hawks are coming off a big win, sadly, over my Pies last round. Should be a good contest, this one. The Crows, they're playing in front of their home fans, and they're playing some decent footy at this point of the season. And, the Hawks, they've been, decently in form this season, and they've been picking up a few good wins this season as well. They've just been exciting to watch as well, Hawthorn, this season, and I do think they're going to win this game. I'm backing in Hawthorn over the Crows in this game. It should be a good contest. It is at the Adelaide Oval, like I said before, and the Crows have been playing some decent footy at this point of the season, but the Hawks, they've been picking up some decent wins this season. They've been very in form this season. So yeah, I'm going to be backing in the Hawks in this game over the Crows. And there we go. Those are my tips done and dusted for this round of footy, round number 20. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and I will be vlogging the Pies versus Tigers game on Sunday. So yeah, that should be out on the Monday. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and come on the Pies. Come on the Pies for Sunday. Come on.